Welcome back to another Dawn of War video. Today we will be playing as the Black Legion, the largest force of Chaos Marines. We will be eradicating the Imperial Guard and Space Marines on a variety of planets in the Talassa system, which has strategic importance to Abaddon. The Imperial Guard does not know of our plans, and we fast approach their first stronghold. We will rip them apart in the name of Chaos. In this first battle, it was a 1 versus 2, the Black Legion versus the Cadian 110th and the famous Cadian 8th. They were not expecting us, so I had plenty of time to prepare. I started by capturing strategic points and building generators. There was no opposition to my fast expansion. It did not take long to build all the necessary structures needed to take over this planet. Before I could gather my forces, my once important cultists, who had helped start this operation, had ended their purpose. So I sent them to their deaths. This was so that I had the space to put forces of Khorne Berserkers and Black Legion soldiers. They filled the grounds in my stronghold, followed by my very own Predator tank. Can I just real quickly say that I think the Khorne Berserkers are the best troop for Chaos? There is one specific reason as to why this is, and this is it. With my forces prepared, I split them in two. The plan is to attack the Cadian 8th first, wipe them out, and have my main force approach the Cadian 110th and hold, while the force that just wiped out the Cadian 8th would flank behind the 110th for a two-pronged assault with crushing efficiency. With a plan in motion, it was time to eradicate the worthless beings that occupy this world. Those miserable beings were swiftly dealt with, and this planet was secured. The Imperium was now aware of us and sent the Ultramarines to aid the Cadian 8th on the next planet. This time it was a 1 versus 3, with 2 battalions of the Cadian 8th and 1 battalion of the Ultramarines. It would not matter. Chaos would prevail. The battle started the same as before. Rapid expansion with cultists taking strategic points and building generators. With how many strategic points I captured, it did not take long to gain resources to once again build all the structures needed for my conquest.
The Ultramarines have come to aid the Cadian 8. It will not matter. Soon they will all kneel to Chaos, and those who resist shall be swiftly disposed of. Now go forth and move towards our enemies and cause great bloodshed in the name of Chaos.
I sent my forces to the Cadians first. It was an absolutely overwhelming force with no opposition. With both Cadian forces dealt with, the only opponent that remained was the Ultramarines. The marching of soldiers and machines roared as they passed the Ultramarine banner and marched toward the stronghold to finish the Imperium's only hope left to save this planet. They were crushed, and another planet was secured for the Black Legion. The third planet to attack was being defended by the Cadian 8th, Space Wolves, and Ultramarines. However, we would not fight alone in this battle, for the Word Bearers had come to join us on our conquest of this system. My attempts at rapid expansion were halted by the Ultramarines. They had killed my cultists and even took back a relic. They would pay for this. But first, I needed to secure the strategic points I still had.
The Space Wolves have come to the pathetic Ultramarines' aid. The Cadians are now but a measly distraction compared to these cowardice Marines. No matter how many reinforcements come to aid the weak humans, we will crush them all. Prepare to move out and crush the skulls of those who oppose us.
The Space Wolves kept sending squads to my doorstep, but I had built up enough turrets to keep them back. With my forces gathered, I moved to my Ultramarine neighbor and started to blow his base apart. Thanks to the Word Bearers cleaning up the little amount of Ultramarine forces prior, there was little resistance. The miserable Blue Marines were crushed, and my attention was drawn elsewhere. Marching forward, I encountered Space Wolf and Cadian resistance, both of which were swiftly dealt with. I continued marching towards the Space Wolf stronghold and slaughtered the Imperial Guard's attempts to help their ally. Due to swiftly making it to the Space Wolf stronghold, they only had time to prepare one more dreadnought, which was blown to pieces. Soon followed the command center. The Space Wolves were no more, and the only remaining forces were the Imperial Guard, and they would stand no chance now. Approaching the first stronghold of the Cadian 8th, I was met with some squadrons of Imperial Guardsmen that were swiftly mowed down. Their miserable attempts to stop my forces failed, and their first stronghold was destroyed. Now there was only one, and they were outnumbered. My forces approached, and with all the Imperial Guardsmen killed, the last command center was destroyed in mere moments. This final battle was the largest. The Imperium was desperate to hold this last planet. They could not afford to lose it. If we were to secure this planet, we would have to face 3 battalions of the mighty Cadian 8th, the Ultramarines, the Black Templars, and the Sisters of Battle. However, we would not stand alone for this final battle. Aiding us were the stalwart Iron Warriors, masters of siege warfare. They were a welcomed ally for this final upcoming assault. Just like the previous battles, I vastly expanded, trying to secure as many resources as possible to hopefully deal a quick blow to our numerous enemies.
This is it! The final assault! We must secure this planet for the Dark Gods! Many lives will be lost, much blood will be spilled, and all of you will receive bursts of fire, waves of bolter rounds, and sharp blades. Permanent scars will be caused by this battle, but you will graciously accept these scars, for today we purge all those who remain and triumph in the name of chaos.
All of the Imperium's pathetic forces have been demolished. Blood flows on these grounds, and chaos flourishes. This system has been secured for Abaddon to continue spreading chaos throughout this galaxy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was more Dawn of War. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. Peace.